Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself because what I'm about to share with you guys is going to send shockwaves through Washington and straight into your living room. So just hours ago, federal agents with President Trump's Department of Homeland Security just launched a raid inside of the office of a sitting Democrat. And what they reportedly found out could change everything that we thought we knew about national security, foreign warfare, and of course, political corruption. Guys, we're talking about drone tech. Not just any drone tech, classified military grade systems eerily similar to the ones that were used by Ukraine in their devastating strike that took out over 40 Russian warplanes last week. So now, how did that same technology, banned, encrypted, and internationally monitored, end up inside the office of one of the most powerful Democrats in Washington, D.C.? Well, guys, this wasn't just a protest. This wasn't just ICE enforcement. According to sources, this raid was authorized directly by President Trump after Intel flagged the chilling discovery that linked drone warfare, illegal foreign assets, and a high-level cover-up happening right here on American soil. Oh, and wait until you hear how the exact same remote trigger launch systems seen overseas, they're now at the center of a scandal that's rocking Capitol Hill to its core. Was a U.S. congressman harboring foreign technology? Was this an act of sabotage? And what does it mean for 2025 and beyond? Well, stick with me, guys, because this is only the beginning. So in the next few minutes, I want to share with you guys, and I want to break down this raid that took place, the drone tech, the global link, and why President Trump's immediate action might have just stopped something far worse from happening. And I promise you guys, by the time we get to what the DHS found inside of that office, you're going to understand why half of Washington, D.C. is in full-blown panic mode. So what's really going on inside of Congress? Why now? And who else is involved? Do not blink, guys, because this story is quickly unfolding faster than the media can even try to spin it. So let's get to it. By the way, if you appreciate the daily news updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate your support. Guys, let's get right into exactly what went down and why Washington, D.C. insiders are scrambling right now. So just days ago, federal agents with President Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security, they executed an unannounced high-level raid inside the New York office of Democratic Representative Jerry Nadler. That's right, guys, Gerald Nadler, one of the most vocal anti-Trump lawmakers in Congress, all of a sudden found his staff face down, handcuffed, and surrounded by armed agents. This is crazy. So what started as a manhunt for suspected anti-ICE protesters somehow quickly escalated into something far more serious. Body cam footage shows agents forcing entry, declaring federal authority, and demanding access to locked areas of the office, prompting Nadler and top Democrats to scream abuse of power. But the real story, it really wasn't the protesters. The real story, according to a senior DHS spokesperson, agents were acting on a national security tip, one that claimed unauthorized military-grade tech components were being housed inside that particular congressional office, specifically encrypted transmitters and control relays, essentially nearly identical to those that were used in military drone operations. So let me repeat that, guys. The drone command hardware, the same kind that's typically used to launch UAV strikes, was traced back to a sitting U.S. lawmaker's office. That's why the raid was authorized. And that's why this really wasn't business as usual. This is why this particular political fallout is going to be historic, guys. And so here's where it gets even wilder, because this tech isn't just suspicious. It's a near match to the components Ukraine used in their most brilliant military operation to date, Operation Spiderweb. So, of course, you probably are asking, well, what the heck is Operation Spiderweb, right? And how could parts of that highly classified warfare system end up 4,000 miles away inside of a Democratic office on U.S. soil, right? Well, stick with me because I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots between a war zone in Eastern Europe and the deepest quarters of Washington, D.C. So also, I'm going to share with you guys the drone tech that was used to knock out 40 Russian warplanes. And it may have accidentally or maybe even deliberately how it made its way into the enemy hands right here in America. And you're going to want to hear what this means for the entire remainder of this year, because this next part is going to blow the lid off the foreign interference narrative that the media just doesn't want to touch at all. Now, guys, I'm just getting started, but I want you to understand that Medicare shouldn't be a source of stress. It should give you peace of mind. That's what Chapter delivers. Leslie Taylor, she is now saving $1,000 a year. Sharon Bertusik, she went from losing her Medicaid to getting on a brand new plan with $0 premiums, zero cost meds, and copays got reduced from $89 to just $20. There's no pressure. There's no confusion with Chapter, just peace of mind. And did I mention that they're free of charge? That's right. They do not charge you a dime. Give our friends at Chapter a call at 909-563-8279, or better yet, hit them up on the website at askchapter.org/Ron. Links in the description down below. Guys, trust me, you deserve a plan that actually works for you. Now that we know that the DHS agents found suspicious drone command technology inside of Congressman Nadler's office, the real question becomes, well, where the heck did it come from, right? And why does it look so familiar? Well, we need to rewind just a few days earlier to what military analysts are calling one of the most devastating and innovative drone strikes in modern warfare. So Ukraine launched a surprise Operation Spiderweb, using drones hidden in truck-mounted cabins. Now, these trucks, they pulled up near Russian air bases. Their roofs opened remotely, and dozens of drones flew out like hornets, destroying more than 40 Russian warplanes, Tu-22s, Tu-95s. These are nuclear-capable bombers, folks, and they were wiped out in under an hour. Now, the cost of the Ukrainian operation, about $70,000. The damage inflicted, estimated over $7 billion. That's not just tactical brilliance. It's a total shift in the way that wars are being fought. And now, according to DHS, the same hardware used to guide that kind of destruction was just miraculously shows up in a U.S. congressman's office. What? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Now, sources inside Homeland Security, they're saying intelligence agencies have been tracking components of this foreign drone technology moving through multiple U.S. cities. Think encrypted relays, military-grade guidance systems, stuff that should really never be outside of a Pentagon vault, let alone inside of a political office on Capitol Hill. So that tracking trail, yeah, it didn't lead to a warlord. It didn't even lead to a terrorist cell. It led to Gerald Nadler's office in New York City, the same office that only a couple weeks earlier had been accused of harboring anti-ICE rioters. Comment down below if you think that there's a coincidence here. So this raises a very chilling question. Was Nadler's office just a drop point for the tech, or were they actively storing, transferring, or even testing it? So DHS has reportedly begun their investigation, potential money laundering, foreign asset movement, and even the use of political protests as a distraction to cover up for smuggling high-value components. Think about it, guys. Could the so-called protesters who fled into the office have actually been couriers? Like, could they have been carrying the encrypted drone hardware disguised as activist gear? And if one Democratic office was involved, who else might be compromised, right? Any ideas? Drop me some names down below, guys. So, of course, President Trump finds out, and let's just say he didn't wait for some committee hearing. The moment he saw the classified intel, he immediately issued orders to shut it down. So I want to bring you guys all of that detail, and I'm going to break down exactly what President Trump did, how the language of treason and espionage is now entering the conversation, and more importantly, why Democrats are accusing Trump of election interference. Meanwhile, they're quietly expanding their own legal defense teams and whatnot. So yeah. So let's talk about what just happened the moment President Trump got the briefing. So according to White House sources, as soon as President Trump was presented with the drone tech connection, let's just say that the foreign tracking trail and the office location tied to Nadler, he gave the directive, move now. Within hours, guys, President Trump authorized a zero-delay directive straight through the Department of Homeland Security. DHS was greenlit to essentially raid any location where any of the sensitive foreign tech might be housed, including the congressional offices. And so here's what the insiders are saying off the record. They're saying the words treason, espionage, even compromised lawmakers are tossed around in these classified briefings. Because if any sitting member of Congress, knowingly or not, is storing or transferring foreign battle tech inside U.S. borders, that's not just unethical, that is a national security breach. President Trump's administration is now reportedly considering a full tech audit of Capitol Hill. Think about that, guys. Every office, every storage room, every encrypted drive scanned and seized if necessary. And let me tell you, folks, that is DC in panic mode, okay? So predictably, the Democrat leadership's calling this move an act of tyranny. They're screaming abuse of power, election interference, and retaliation. Nadler himself, he claimed it was all a political intimidation and Trump called a danger to democracy. Yeah. So, you know the typical playbook, right? So here's what the media isn't reporting. Behind the scenes, House and Senate Democrats, they are lawyering up fast. And sources are saying that Secret Service has now expanded security sweeps to every member of Congress with an increased presence around classified equipment rooms. Meanwhile, you got Republicans calling this a necessary act of law enforcement. And finally, this line in the sand has essentially been drawn after years of Washington, D.C. corruption, these double standards and endless stonewalling. But this is only the surface because President Trump's intel team just uncovered something else. Let's just say that it's raising alarms about foreign operatives, international sabotage, and what may be the biggest case of political infiltration in modern history, guys. So who's really behind this technology? Could Russia, China, and Iran be pulling some strings behind closed doors? In the halls of our own government? What about the intelligence agencies now joining the investigation? You got DHS, the NSA, even the Defense Intelligence Agency. They're all circling around one question. How deep does this go? So clearly, this is not just about drone parts. This is about whether members of Congress have been compromised by foreign powers, and the evidence, well, the evidence is mounting fast. So yeah. Anyway, so many of you guys have reached out with the same cry for help. Ron, I'm tired of asking for permission to live my life. And I get it. I mean, I've been there, requesting time off just to go to a doctor's appointment or to watch my kids' game. Like, what happens if your boss says no? Well, you just can't go. And this is exactly why I've built the Liberty Pursuit Network for people just like you who are done playing by somebody else's rules. This community is your launch pad to create the income that you own, to build freedom from the ground up, and to finally start working because you want to, not because you have to. So, I mean, guys, you already told me what you needed, and now it's here. So no more clocking in, no more office politics, no more asking for permission to live. Join us over in the Liberty Pursuit Network, link in the description down below of this video. Now, all right, guys, if you thought that the raid was the end of the story, or even maybe the drone tech itself, think again, because what's unfolding right now points to something that's way more dangerous than just a few parts in a back room. This may be the clearest evidence yet that foreign adversaries have breached American political infrastructure, and yes, that includes Capitol Hill. Now, sources inside the U.S. intelligence, they're now openly pointing to multiple global actors potentially involved in funneling advanced drone technology into the U.S. I'm talking Russia, Iran, and yes, China. So think about the timing, right? Ukraine just crippled Russia's air power with a surprise drone attack. Those drones, never used before, never before seen launch systems that now appear to have counterparts inside of a Democrat-controlled office building in New York. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. What if Russia is trying to reverse engineer or smuggle pieces of that tech back into U.S. soil to destabilize, observe, or even retaliate? Or worse, what if a U.S. lawmaker was the mule, willingly or not? So here's the thing. This is not just speculation. Financial watchdogs are now combing through campaign donations, backdoor wire transfers, and shell companies tied to foreign lobbyist groups that have funneled millions into Washington, D.C. over the past year. So this is no longer just a DHS operation. We're now hearing that the NSA, the DIA, and elements within the FBI counterintelligence unit are quietly stepping in. Why? Well, that's because, what started as a raid about protesters has triggered alerts across multiple intelligence channels, especially once the drone tech signals, encrypted with foreign coding structures, were picked up during a sweep of devices inside the office. So let all of that sink in just for a second, guys. Foreign code drone transmitters sitting in a U.S. congressman's office in New York City. And now we're hearing that this is only the beginning. Multiple sources claim that this is only phase one of a much larger national security sweep that's called internally Operation Blind Spot. So DHS has not confirmed it publicly, but it's already rattling insiders in both parties. So yeah, Trump is not just reacting. He is moving fast to rewrite the rules of engagement. He's launching this brand new task force to hunt foreign tech infiltration across the political system, and he's demanding a crackdown before November. So let's not forget, guys, this scandal hit just now, right? Giving Trump exactly the ammunition that he needs to hammer the message that essentially got him elected in the first place. America first, law and order, drain the swamp. Now, I'm going to share with you guys how this drone scandal might be the October surprise that nobody saw coming, and why Democrats are already scrambling to try to distance themselves before it's too late. So what does all this mean, right? Well, a DHS raid, drone tech traced to a congressman's office, foreign fingerprints, and intelligence agencies now involved. It's not just a scandal. This is a turning point because President Donald Trump isn't just responding. He's declaring war on foreign tech infiltration, and he's doing it with the full weight of the executive branch behind him. Now, sources inside the White House are confirming already that Trump is finalizing a sweeping executive order that would create a new tech infiltration task force. This is one that operates across DHS, the NSA, Cyber Command, and yes, even Capitol Hill. Now, he's also urging Congress to pass emergency sanctions against any foreign tech supplier tied to China, Russia, or Iran, including secondary companies hiding behind U.S.-based shell fronts. So here's what's getting floated behind these closed doors. A new policy requiring mandatory intelligence clearing reviews for all congressional offices that receive classified briefings or Defense Committee access. This is no longer about politics, guys. This is about national security. And right on cue, the story detonates in the middle of President Trump's comeback campaign. So essentially, the same man that they tried to impeach twice is now proving that while Democrats were screaming about foreign interference, it's actually happening inside their own offices. This plays perfectly into President Trump's core message: America first, law and order, drain the swamp. So, and as voters, the polling is already shifting. Independents are rattled, Republican turnout is surging, and even moderate Democrats are asking the unthinkable. What else are they hiding, right? And so if this investigation continues, which it probably will, we're going to find out exactly what this was, and this may actually just be the first domino to fall. So I got to ask you guys, who do you trust to protect this country? The party harboring encrypted drone gear in their offices, or the man who authorized the raid to expose it? So if you believe in, if you believe in sovereignty, if you believe in law and order, if you believe that our elected officials should be working for us, not foreign governments, then please share this video, guys. Comment down below and tell me, should President Trump expand this investigation to the entire Washington, D.C. swamp? And most importantly, do not let this story die in the headlines, because this is not just breaking news. This is the beginning of a reckoning. Subscribe to the channel, stay alert, and I'm going to see y'all on the next one.